What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you a taking down a Town Hall 10 video. And for this content, I'm not looking at a CWL clan base or anything like that. We're looking at a brand new Town Hall 10, like brand spanking new. Obviously, this guy just went to Town Hall 10 recently, and it's not exactly. I mean, the Royals are 15-15. Nobody is hiding that, okay? But it does have level 1 Infernos, and some people, that's also not very difficult at all. However, this is still a Town Hall 10, and it still has 2 Infernos, has 35 CC. It has a few, I think only 1 point defense. No, the cannons are Town Hall 10. It's a low-level Town Hall 10, and I know that there is a lot of you out there that are brand new 9.5s or low-level 10s that will face this base quite often, this setup. Plus, this is probably internet based, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit on taking down the Town Hall 10 and talk about what strategies work for this level and what don't. So forgive me. All right, this base took 6 attempts to bring down. The first one was obviously a scout. Town Hall 8 hit this base and got 1 star. It was really nice. This war came down. It doesn't even matter what the war is. Let's focus at the base. So what information do we see from here? These is the first Town Hall 9. Real attempt to double the base. Gets a lure. What information we find out is that it's a Dragon Witch combination in the CC. Poison goes down, standard stuff. We'll go to ×2 because I do have a lot of replays to show. Okay. Let's go to ×1. First off, we're trying with air. See the double air defenses like this? I also thought about doing air, but I'll tell you why it doesn't really work. For this one being a Town Hall 9, though, it's pretty ambitious. So a haste, but watch how these loons path. As the tankage leaves, the hounds keep going down, and plus they're going into an infernal tower. So they're going to, which is not bad, a single target infernal tower for loons. Not bad at all, but the Teslas are not covering air defenses. The point defenses up top that target air are not covering those air defenses either. So as your tanks keep going down, any coverage that you thought you may have had up top is gone, and you run out of gusto here because you can't overwhelm the defenses that are being distracted by an hound sitting on an air defense. That whole theory of Alalo is taken away. But what we see from here is there's no giant bombs that went off. The Tesla farms are all taken out. And we see that where some traps are for the air defenses. There was some black SAMs on the bottom right air defense. So we can know how I'll talk about why that's important with my strategy. So we'll bounce out of here and we'll take a look at yet another 9 attempt. Here we have Blanca, who is a 9.5, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, 1, 2. Yep, this is the first 9.5 attempt. He does have max Valks and a level 3 hound, and we're still going with a Va-Bolo, if I'm not a Va-Bolalo, if I'm not mistaken, or a Va-Lalo. Loon to get the CC out. We're going with the walk. So the goal is to try to walk and take these 2 air defenses down. Need to be careful though, because once you jump into that wall, that single target Inferno is going to make quick work. The idea is to open up the wall and then get in there, and you can see. I believe he had a wall breaker fail, or what was it on this one? Oh, the Valks were supposed to eat through it or something like that, but it didn't quite go according to plan. Good baby dragon on the bottom to start the funnel to force in his Valks and BK to get in there. All right, so 2 air defenses are going to be done. So let's pause right here. If this goes according to plan, I still have 2 air defenses down here, and I'm assuming that's 2 hounds for that. But all the sweeper blowing this way, sweeper blowing this way, which depending on how you send your loons, if you come from behind, it can be a non-factor. But more than likely, you're going to send your loons from the left and circle clockwise, or from an angle from behind the sweeper. But there is so much. The Teslas are not covering any. They are not covering any air defenses, so they're going to make quick work of any loons. And the wizard towers are not covering air defenses now because, like for this one, for an example, because it's going to do work on the loons as well. Wizard tower left up. So if we push play, you'll see what I'm talking about here. I actually had a similar idea of walking down the left side and doing, as we zoom in here. So he eats through the wall with Valkyries here, gets to the queen. But right here, instead of the Valkyries going in, they're going to circle the base. And only one goes in there and is quickly taken care of. So here we go. Actually, it's 3? No, 2? 2? Believe so. Just 2 hounds. Alright, so the air defenses are just about to go down. Freezing that multi-inferno so to protect those loons coming through. Granted, it is not even close to a max freeze. That extra time would have been helpful. But let's pretend... he does bring it down. Look at what's left. Teslas, wizard towers, point defenses. It's in a single target infernal still. It's just not going to work out. The air attempt is just not going to work out on this base because the air defense placement doesn't actually help the strategy. So we'll bounce out of here and look at yet another. Here's the second 9.5 attempt. Brand new 9.5s. Does have max hogs. Abandon the air. Before I actually want to explain why I didn't want to do air. What my plan was, my personal plan, a full Town Hall 10, is to walk down this way with a walk, get everything here, kind of like what we saw with Blanca, except opposite end, jump into here, and get all of this like that. Send one hound, because I had Valkyries and Bowlers and Rage and a jump, to basically gut a third of the base, drag one max hound from way over here behind the sweeper and end over here. And then, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 loons like that kind of collapsing on it with about 3 haste. The issue was the hound ended on a single target inferno, which means whatever time that would be left over is now gone. And it's double trapped. And the pathing that the loons would take, if I put a haste here to zoom them over, the Teslas would still be up. And they would basically wreck my loons. And I didn't feel confident that I have enough loons left over with that strategy in order to take it down. And that's kind of like what we saw with the other attempts utilizing air. Great ideas. It proved futile because of the base design. So looking at this, we have ESQ going straight from the top. He's aiming for a double. This was a very close war is what I'll say. Even though I do believe there was a few... I would say a few engineered bases, and I'll bring that in probably a different video. It's kind of crazy what the game's turning into because of the weighting algorithm. So it's going to basically dive for the Town Hall and get 50% as fast as possible, but he's going to use a ground attack or some hog attacks, and that opens up the door for this, and that actually ends up being the key to taking down this base is a hobo. At Town Hall 10. So jump straight, gives him access to the Town Hall. Late P.E.K.K.A. to make sure that he gets at least one swipe on the Town Hall. Freezes the single target Inferno because he needs the tankage of his Royals to get in there. Heal to sustain his Bowlers. It's basically a hodgepodge in here. Aiming for a 2-star, not a clear. And what we see right there on the right is where the giant bombs are. So they're thwarted his idea. Probably would have got a lot more from here, but you see on the right-hand side, there's the double giant bomb plus a bomb tower. The other thing about this base, being that it's symmetrical, is that you can bet a double giant bomb set's going to be on the left-hand side as well. So we'll bounce out of here and look at yet another attempt using hogs. Sarah coming in. The 5th attempt on this base. Trying to clear it now. We already got a double. Going to use a Giant-Hog hobo. And you'll see how she does this. So she uses a crap ton of giants to eat through the wall. No wall breakers. Heals behind it. Got that Giant-Hog going on. Good funnel with the wizards. And seeing that we have multiple giants heading into a single target Inferno, really good idea. Kills the CC on the flyer with the double poison for that, which the double giant bomb set is tripped over. The bowlers unfortunately walk on her, but you can see the jump placement here. The other part that you can see here is the skeleton traps. There's only one set on ground. There's another set on air. So goes all the way through here, rages through that. Town Hall goes down, holding on to the hogs, but see that top part, these point defenses right here in the L shape and the Tesla and all that stuff? These things wrecked the flow of the raid. And right here. So that we're hogging against a multi-infernal versus a single target, which was on the right. So that's the one key thing I wanted to point out here. The entry was solid. The side possibly wasn't the best direction, only because you are now hogging against a multi-inferno, which does unhealable damage to 5 hogs until you bring it down. And then the other part is the flow of it, starting the hogs from the bottom, which is usually a good idea because you're starting them behind some tankage of these giants, but you have the right top half of this. Plus, there's probably springs in between here, given the angle that the hogs are going to come through. There is way too many point defenses left over, being that you started the hogs from the bottom. And you could basically, even if you get down the Infernal Tower, you could lose your hogs to some springs at all that open spaces. Given the direction that the hogs would go, they'd path this way across this open spots. Like from here to here. And from, coming across like this. So we'll finish this up. You can see it. Oh, I'm sorry. Both skeletons were set to ground. I thought only one was. Oh, he has 3, though. Right? Yeah. At Town Hall 10 has 3. That's right. What the heck I was thinking. All right. So we'll back out of here, and then we'll look at that play. The Giants was not a bad idea. Let's look at the one that cleared it. So instead of using giants, Shattered Hobo. However, I'm going to come from the far side on the left. So not the queen side. I need to make sure that my tanks last long enough to get into the core and aggro the queen. So the golems give me more time. They just do, mathematically. And I'm bringing bowlers with rage to take care of the sides so I don't get flaked too much. As long as I take care of them on the entry. But I'm bringing 4 Valkyries specifically for the queen. Like the idea was for them, as soon as they get in the aggro line, they drop whatever they do and they go straight for the queen. You can see how that's done here. The one thing I didn't do correctly was I didn't pre-trip the DGBs. I realized my mistake halfway through the raid. And I account for how I place my hogs is accounted for the point defense at the top. And basically I sandwich the kill squad towards the end and finish off the base. All right, so there's that. Everybody's distracted. I want a baby dragon because this archer tower right here could pick off this wizard and that wizard. I wanted a baby dragon specifically to take care of the funnel as well as tank that archer tower, so that my wizards get a nice strong funnel and specifically help take out this CC kill because I knew it would aggro onto my golem that was placed down within that line. And that worked out fine. And now the wizards, because this trash ring is gone and that archer tower is gone, my wizards over here on the left reroute inward and help out my kill squad. My Valkyries don't go according to plan, but that's fine. On the right-hand side, I send one hog to get rid of that double giant bomb. Rage is for the bowlers and my royals and any wizards left over in here. And here's the other part. I already started my hogs. And I pre-planned 4 for each defense. So I had 4 right here, which you're seeing coming in. 4 right here that are coming in there. I do 4 because I might lose 3 coming into this section because of a spring. And I predetermined that if I place a heal right here, because these Teslas and bows and wizard tower are going to basically wound them pretty well, I have 3 more heals. As long as I keep the entire right side under heal, all my hogs will be healthy. And look at the bottom half. I got 2-point defenses and a bow, which my kill squad is already going to try to get by. So I felt good about that, about using all my heals on that entry. You can see how that happens right here. There goes my hogs under heal. My Valks do bust out of the base, but then go back in and do take out the queen in the middle. Hogging or go-hoing or hoboing a Town Hall 10 versus in single target Inferno is the way to go. You might have to think about a rage or a freeze for a multi-Inferno. Oh, and then there's my skeleton spell to make sure I got the trash ring taken care of. My skeleton spell was just in case I didn't get the queen. Was to get her while she was basically sniping hogs. So the difference that I did from Sarah by watching her replay was I sent Shattered instead of Giants, and I don't think that was the difference maker. She still had a great push. But I sent my hogs from the top, not the bottom, to have the army attack move as a wave so that my either army wasn't picked off or flanked unnecessarily. The other part was I brought more heal for my hogs because I knew that was my main attacking force. And I attacked from the left side to make sure I took care of the multi Infernal Tower versus the single target Infernal Tower, which helps a hog attack. Hopefully those tips were helpful for you. If you're a brand new Town Hall 10 or just starting that out, once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double, and I will check you next time.